Why don't you go see your boyfriend?
Yeah, he got a nice room.
You won't have it long. He left a call for 7 a.m.
See if we can figure out something.
Listen to a party.
Hi. It has been a minute and YouTube is starting off a little on the glitch side. So we might as well take a few seconds. I haven't gotten a notification of the live yet. So I'm guessing others haven't either. Oh, wait. Nope. That wasn't about my live. No notifications at all. Hey, Steve. Yeah, it's been a minute. I took a break because iMovie was doing my head in. And then yesterday I was busy working. Today I had calls up until now. So that's kind of what's been going on. I was using the non-streaming time to try and figure out what iMovie wants from me and why it is giving me a hard time. Also, I just remembered that thing is lying there because I was in a meeting this morning and it came flying off the wall. So that was fun. I haven't hung it back up because I don't really, I've got a candle burning there with oil, those little things. I don't know, it's an oil burner. And I don't want it flying down into me. So I'm going to do some polls, but while people join, I think, should we start off with Judge Middleton? He had a very interesting competency hearing. Let's start with that. I've been watching a lot of Judge Middleton because he feels like a comfort watch. Like I was watching videos from a year ago even. No, 3 years ago. Look, there's me on my own, but it's not sending it out to
the victims in this case. They're his.
It's not sending it out to other people.
Adoptive parents. Yeah. Were they as adoptive parents, correct? Or are they biological?
I didn't know the difference.
I don't know, but they're his parents. I know it because he kept saying these aren't my parents. This isn't my parents.
All right, we're going live here. Thanks for coming, Josh. Good morning, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Are you James Juday?
Yeah.
Would you rather stand or would you like to sit down?
I'm good.
All right, I'll leave you standing if you're all right with that. This is file number 24803FY. It's entitled People of the State of Michigan versus James Charles Juday. Mr. Juday is presently connected by a Zoom link from the jail. His lawyer, Rhonda Ives, is here with me at the courthouse, and Chief Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Joshua Robert is here. Mr. Juday, to recap, you got charged on May 15th with home invasion in the 3rd degree for a dwelling on Hiawatha Drive in Sherman Township. That's a felony punishable by up to 5 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $2,000. You also got charged with malicious destruction of personal property. You broke a window allegedly and spray painted some things on the house. That's a misdemeanor alleged to be over 200 but less than $1,000.
None of it's true. So why am I here?
All right, here's why you're here. The matter was set for a preliminary examination and a pre-exam conference. Your attorney, Rhonda Ives, was appointed to represent you, and you basically wouldn't talk to her.
There's nothing to say. I didn't do nothing.
All right, well, so we've referred the matter for a competency evaluation at the Center for Forensic Psychiatry. And we got a report from the Forensic Center on August 13th. It was date stamped August 16th. We're supposed to set a hearing in that matter within 5 days of the receipt of that report. Today's 4 days after we received it. So this is a hearing regarding your competency to proceed. You've been stuck in jail now for 97 days and the case has just been on hold.
It'd be nice to get a real lawyer too.
All right, well, we'll talk about that. Mr. Robert, on behalf of the state, are you willing to stipulate to the admissibility of the report?
Yes, Your Honor.
It is dated August 13th from Carissa Carlson, PhD, a consulting forensic examiner and licensed psychologist with the Center for Forensic Psychiatry. Ms. Ives, are you willing to stipulate to that report?
I would stipulate to it, but I object to the conclusion that's been made in the report based on the lack of review of and interview of the defendant.
All right.
You want me to plead guilty to something I didn't do? There's nothing to talk about.
Well, I don't necessarily want you to plead guilty. You're entitled to have a trial, and your lawyer is willing to represent you at a trial. But in order to do that, you have to talk to her. No one's trying to get you to plead guilty to anything. We're trying to just move forward with the case. And this,
I did talk to her.
All right, well, here's what the psychologist says. First of all, competency has to do with your state of mind right now, today, and the day of the trial. Criminal responsibility, sometimes referred to as insanity, has to do with your state of mind at the time of the offense. We're not concerned about that right now. We're just concerned about your state of mind now. I get the sense that you're an intelligent guy, but you've got some oppositional issues. The statute, the competency statute says, a defendant to a criminal charge shall be presumed to be competent to stand trial. He shall be determined incompetent to stand trial only if he is incapable because of his mental condition of understanding the nature and object of the proceedings against him or assisting in his defense in a rational manner. The court shall determine the capacity of the defendant to assist in his defense by his ability to perform the task reasonably necessary for him to perform in the preparation of his defense. So the examiner didn't get very far with you. The video conference lasted about 5 minutes. Mr. Jude terminated the interview prior to being asked questions about his legal case and understanding of the proceedings. He demonstrated the ability to advocate for himself as evidenced by his understanding that he could terminate the interview. So here's the doctor's opinion, Mr. Jude. I was unable to thoroughly assess Mr. Jude's mental condition at the time of the present examination due to his declining to participate in the evaluation. Because of this, I was unable to directly ask him questions to assess his understanding of the nature and object of the proceedings against him, or to assess his ability to rationally assist in his defense. So they didn't get very far. Then she goes on to state, an opinion on competency is required regardless of the level of participation of Mr. Jude. The time of the evaluation is reported refusing all psychiatric medication.
I don't need medication.
All right, okay, that's, in my opinion, due to the limitation. Well, let me finish this last part, then I'll let you tell me what you want to tell me.
Go ahead and look.
Well, okay.
That's how I'm being treated in here.
All right. In my opinion, due to the limitation of not being able to directly evaluate Mr. Jude myself, and my understanding of the statute, one has to opine the presumption of competency. So their opinion is that you're competent. You're standing there with no shirt on. You're trying to show me how thin you are because of
how I'm being treated in here? Yeah.
All right.
Exactly what I'm doing.
All right. So you showed me that because of how skinny you are?
No, how I'm being treated in here. Boys and gas, all that shit, you know about it.
So that isn't exactly a rousing endorsement for the doctor to find that you're competent. Mr. O'Bear, you have any thing to say about this?
In my review of the statute, the only other possible thing that I can see is for Ms. Ives to request an independent evaluation as one of the outcomes of this hearing. But it says that because of the presumption that the Center of Forensic Psychiatry or other facility officially certified by the Department of Mental Health will properly perform their functions, good cause justifying an independent competency examination should only arise in exceptional cases. So I guess that's one possible option. I don't know if any evaluation by any other person would result in a different outcome based on his unwillingness to participate.
All right, Ms. Ives, what's your position?
Well, Your Honor, I have some serious concerns if they're not able to fully interview the defendant. I don't believe that an accurate determination can be made, and based on statements that he made to me prior to, that caused my request for the competency evaluation causes me some great concern. I'm also concerned the fact that there were reports from the jail that the jail was supposed to send, and they if you look on page 2, those records were supposed to be sent on August 8th promptly, and then as of the date of the report on August 13th, those records were not received. I'm not sure what is in those records, and I'm not sure, but I think that they would be very appropriate to review, as well as have a full evaluation with the defendant. I mean, if that means we have to do an independent evaluation, I guess I would ask the court to allow me to find the resources to do an independent evaluation, or refer them back to Dr. Carlson so that she could try to re-interview the defendant, and hopefully he'll just cooperate with that interview so we can make steps and proceed forward.
Well, Mr. Jude, what was scheduled was a preliminary examination and a pre-exam conference. This is a felony charge. One is a felony, one is a misdemeanor. You've got a $20,000 bond and everything just gets stopped in a timeout when there's a competency hearing.
Yeah, they ain't proof
So-
on anything. No,
So, we weren't able to do the pre-exam conference and we weren't able to do the preliminary examination. So ordered this evaluation and they did it, but it didn't go very well because you weren't very cooperative. So,
I've been,
go ahead, sir. What do you want to tell me?
I've been telling you everything. There's nothing what do you want to know?
Well, do you want to go forward with your case? Do you want to have a trial? You have a right to have a trial where the prosecution has to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. We can't move forward in the posture we're in right now.
Well, yeah,
You
I'm not
don't
trying
have
to stay in here for no reason, man. I'm already in here for no reason over 90 days. Did you look at me?
97 days.
You see how skinny I am and shit?
Yes.
Yeah, you know,
Let me ask this. If I were to release you today, where would you go?
I don't know. I'd figure it out.
Well, I'd rather figure it out first.
Well, I gotta be able to go get my shit.
Yeah. Well, are you willing to talk with your attorney so she can proceed to prepare your case for trial?
I don't care, man. If it gets me out of here, you see me, I'm starving, man.
Well, I see it. All right.
Getting poison every day. Gas, yeah.
Say that again.
Getting poison and gas every day too. I know you don't care, but
What's that from?
ask them.
Did he say he was poisoned with gas? Mr. Jude,
Yes.
is that what you said?
He said he is poison gassed every day. The jail staff says you're on a quasi hunger strike and that you refuse to eat.
I've been eating.
All right, well, do that.
Your Honor, I'm confused. Is he making a statement that, what does that mean, poisoned gas?
Well, you heard the same thing I did. He contends he's being poisoned by the jail staff with poison gas. And he said, ask them.
You gonna let me out today or what? You just said something about it.
No, I just asked what you would do if you had somewhere to go. No, I'm not inclined to let you out without cooperating with your attorney. I can't even get to the first stage of the proceedings. You've been in jail for 97 days. If I order an independent psychiatric evaluation, it's probably going to take another 90 days. I don't believe that you're being poisoned by poison gas at the jail. It doesn't matter what I believe if you believe it. So what would happen if I find you to be competent? I would set the matter for a pre-exam conference where your lawyer would come and meet with you and discuss what to do with the case. It could be reduced with some sort of a plea agreement, or you could have a trial. Nothing prohibits you from having a trial where you have to be proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. But we can't even get to that point. This business about your belief you're being poisoned is new to
Can you
this.
buy me out? I've already tried. They won't let me.
Well, your
Okay.
bond is $20,000 cash or surety.
Yeah. I've already tried.
Well, there were also allegations that you violated a personal protection order. That's why the bond is so high. You kept going back to a place you were ordered to stay away from.
Well, I gotta get back to where my stuff is.
Well, we'll get to that point. At this point, I'm inclined to grant defendant's motion for an independent psychiatric evaluation.
And you do what you gotta do.
All right, thank you, Mr. Jude.
I'm talking to somebody.
What I'd like you to do is cooperate with the next doctor. and see if we can move forward here. 'Cause
I'll talk to the doctor. There's nothing to talk about, but.
all right, I asked you to cooperate. They would get,
I mean, come on.
all right, well, I've seen enough of that. So, all right, Mr. Jude, have extra French fries or something. I'll be seeing you at our next hearing.
I wish I was eating.
Let me look at the order. See what it says.
But he's on his own hunger strike, I think.
Well, that's what the jail staff says. He says he's eating. This order doesn't have anything in here. All right, I will do an addendum to this, saying that I grant, Josh, you were looking at the statute. What section
So
is?
it's Michigan Court Rule 6125D, independent examination. On a showing of good cause by either party, the court may order an independent examination of the defendant relating to the issue of competence to stand trial.
I did it once when I was prosecutor. Although it was upside down, the forensic center found the defendant to be competent. I was prosecutor. I didn't think she was competent. So I got an independent evaluation from an excellent doctor, Dr. Charles Clark. And he found her to be, actually it was that's a long story, but it was a terrible homicide case. All right, the trick is you got to find somebody, an independent doctor, to do the evaluation. I don't know if MIDC has some assistance in that. And MIDC may need to pay for the evaluation. But I can't tell. He was doing pretty good until we got into poison gas. And as the jail indicated, he's on his own sort of hunger strike. He didn't look any skinnier than Iggy Pop, but I don't know what he looked like before. So I will do an order for independent evaluation.
Okay.
And in the meantime, the bond will remain where it is. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So I thought we'd just start off with that because I watched that just before the stream started. Peak hunger strike. Yeah, he does look like he is not eating. And he was doing well until the gas thing. And then I was a little bit like, I think you've kind of lost me. I want to hop over to Judge Washington, but I don't know if she's doing anything interesting. Let's see.
And up until in most of the cases, up until the point he was sentenced.
Okay,
I have not been retained since that time. I have been appearing, but I am actually not his counsel anymore.
understood. I just didn't know if there was any conflict. Thank you.
No. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I think that this Alison Muller represented someone I was following in a sobriety court. I'm actually going to just while they're in a lull, I want to see. Where is it?
The motion is denied. Grant a writ of eviction to be signed. At this time, it's August 20th. It could have been signed by August 12th. Mr. Fanous, I think I'm going to need a writ of eviction, though. It looks like I don't.
Okay, I'm going to pause because I want to tell you that guy, Samsung SM something something, he's been on. Give me 1 sec. I started recording this one hours ago. 2 hours and 10 minutes ago, he had been on for an hour and a half. And he's still on there waiting. So I've been watching a bit of this judge whose name is David Goggins, which is kind of funny to me because the only David Goggins I've known to this point is the ex-Navy SEAL like personal growth man who ran with 2 broken ankles and that whole story. And it's been like a joke for years when Vaughn is like, oh, that was a really tough workout. I'd be like, oh my gosh, David Goggins ran with 2 broken ankles. Like, you need to do better, but like in a joking way. So I saw this and I was like, wait, what? Anyway, I've been watching him and he's pretty wholesome. He's doing landlord tenant now. But I want to see what this guy's been on for the whole time, given he's still here.
I have one.
Oh, then I'll make sure when I talked to Courtney over at Gabriel, they said they had filed it, so maybe they haven't yet. I will verify with them.
Or call our court. I don't know why it would be pulled, but I don't see it in here. So, but I'll sign one if I just have them get one over to me.
Sounds good, Judge.
And Ms. Johnson, good luck to you as well. That one. How about Gabriel Management versus Bergolowski Bergolowski Smith?
Yes, Mr. Spring on behalf of the plaintiff, Your Honor.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Oh, right there. Mr. Smith, do you wish to speak with legal services?
No, Your Honor. All right.
No? Just want to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Fanucci, we can proceed then.
Very good, Judge. This concerns the property at 3478 Ridgecliff Drive, unit number 4. Mr. Smith, you have a current balance right now of $1,240. That includes August rent and court costs. Do you need some time to get that amount paid?
Yes, I spoke with Miss Maria yesterday, and she was just asking me to after I had this, address the meeting today, just to speak with her, just set up some type of payment plan. I currently work with the school system, so school don't just start back until September the 3rd, which she's aware of, and I won't really have a payment until, school starts back up.
Okay. What I'll do is I'd ask the court to enter a consent judgment, or we can do it as a hearing. We'd extend the writ date out for you, sir, till September 6th. That's a Friday. So really you have until the 9th. And hopefully that'll allow at least one paycheck to enter, and then you can get a payment plan going. And then as long as you abide by that plan, there'll be no order of eviction entered against you.
Yes, sir. Okay, I really appreciate that. And I spoke to Miss Maria, and I'll notify her that immediately once we finish this conversation.
Okay, we will draw that up. Judge, you want me to enter it as a hearing, or do you want me to have you enter it as a hearing, or?
Well, probably hearing's just as easy. Yeah, we can do it that way.
All right.
Okay.
I will get that submitted to the court shortly.
All right, and Mr. Smith, you're all set. I'll sign that judgment for you, okay?
Okay, I really appreciate it, Anna. Thank you.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good birthday.
You too. You too. Bye. Gabriel Management versus Devontae Goff. Devontae Goff. Nobody? It's first time up. I do have service by attachment and no court mailing. During the next week?
That works for me, Judge. Just so the court's aware, there's a possibility that I'd have Heather Bernash fill in for me next week. I'm slated to start a jury trial tomorrow before Judge Kelly.
Okay.
Should be done by Friday, but worst case, because of the Monday,
Yeah.
it'll be Tuesday, we'll close.
Sure.
Just in case I'm not available, Heather Bernash should be able to cover.
Okay, very good. We'll adjourn to that date and see what happens. How about Gabriel Management versus Lorraine Lowry? Lorraine Lowry? Yeah, just gotta unmute there for me. There you go. Are you there? Well, you're unmuted. Can you? Yeah, she was there.
Looks like I hit all the
Are you
people
there?
not in
Try
chat.
speaking up. Your microphone's not hooked up for some reason.
Yeah, with audio issues, Judge, what I'd ask is, because Miss Lowry's having audio issues, let's just adjourn it 1 week.
Okay.
And I don't know if she can hear us or not, but just for the record, Judge, there's a current balance of $2,918 for Miss Lowry.
Okay. Miss Lowry, if you can get connected, I'll leave you on there. And if you want to speak with legal services, we'll transfer you, but we'll adjourn it to August 27th at 9:30, 2009-18. Okay, and they'll hold on, Jan, we'll stick it there for a minute. How about, well, it says care of, I guess, Michigan Management
Specialist, yes, Judge.
Specialist versus Rihanna Smith. Any on that matter? Rihanna Smith? Nobody responding. I do have service by attachment, first time up, during the August 27th. French. Keisha French? Nobody responding, service by attachment, first time up, during the August 27th. And Zerka Rental Homes versus Ryan Wisely. Ryan Wisely?
Judge.
Oh, up to the top there, Mr. Wisely.
Yeah.
Do you wish to speak with legal services? No? Mr. Fanous, I think we can proceed.
Very good. Judge, with respect to Mr. Wisely's file at 1193 West Bristol Road, number 1, there's a current amount due and owing, which includes August rent of $1,750. Core cost of $155 would be a total of $1,905.
Mr. Wisely, anything you want to tell me?
Well, back in July, I lost my job. So I was in communication with, Mr. Zerka and the residency. They have given me opportunities. I just found a job the beginning of this month, and I just received my first paycheck. It was like a 4-day paycheck, but this week should be my first full paycheck. So I'm not trying to, get back on track. And, after a month being off work, it's kind of rough.
Yeah, sure. Mr. Fanous?
Judge, listening to Mr. Wisely, what we do is I would give him the same amount of time I gave Mr. Smith, which would be September 6th, which is a Friday. It basically buys you an extra weekend so you can get another paycheck period in, and just make sure you communicate with Mr. Zerka. If you got any payment that you can make it in the meantime, because it'll help knock down that balance and also show that you're willing and trying to work this out.
Yes, sir.
I guess, does that work? At least give you a little more time. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be perfect. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So we'll enter judgment showing a date of eviction September 6th. Okay, all right. Good luck, sir. Yep.
Have a good day, guys.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Judge, I think that does it for me. I will submit those two judgments here shortly to the court.
Okay, sounds good, Mr. Fidelis. And maybe I'll see you tomorrow. I don't know if I will or not. We'll talk.
Sounds good.
All right, see ya.
All right.
Bye. I got somebody on a telephone number, 4271, if you could unmute for me. 4271, anybody?
So that poor guy waited for like 3 hours for that small update. Anyway, now we can go back to Judge Middleton. Judge Washington, before I do that, there was a trial we were watching last week, which is Sean Finnegan. And it was the one about the woman in the freezer. I don't want to get into too much detail, but I've put a poll up. There has already been a verdict, and the audio is awful. And unfortunately, they are the videos that basically broke my iMovie. So I cannot edit them a third or fourth time. With that in mind, if you want to carry on watching it, we can. If you don't, that's okay. We still need to get back to the Hutch jewelry trial, which happened a while ago, and there is a verdict there. So I don't mind doing it that way. It doesn't bother me, but just vote in the poll. I'll be here for another 45 minutes-ish. So for now, we're just going to watch some court. And then when I say goodbye, I'll check the poll and we can make a decision.
Yes. Roll call case of Cortez Davis, 24S00089. Rachel McDuffie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Allison Mueller here on behalf of Cortez Davis. Your Honor, just now tried to call him again. I haven't gotten a hold of him. He is in exam this morning. I know he was reviewing video evidence with his attorney at 8 a.m. and they may have gone straight into exam. I was going to be asking for one final pretrial. So if the court's willing to adjourn without his presence, I would be asking that this be set for a final pretrial.
I don't have any objection to that. The resolution of this case was somewhat possibly dependent on what happens there. Ms. Mueller, my impression based on the notes on my end at this point is that exam may end up getting adjourned. I don't know that for sure. So we don't have to call it a final pretrial if the court doesn't require us to, because I don't know what's going to happen next.
Pretrial of this matter is adjourned to September 17th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Bond is continued.
Thank you.
And I think that's the docket for today.
I think it's an improvement over yesterday.
So what now?
I think it's an improvement over yesterday.
It is, but we started really late yesterday. I think yesterday was the latest time we've started, unless I've sent a notice that we're starting late. So yeah.
I wasn't talking about timing at all. The content.
Oh okay.
1 second, 1 second. Sorry. It's this one. We're going to watch some Fleischer from yesterday. I'm not going to do it live because I don't want to overlap with his chat.
Yeah, well, we can start. That's all right, just one second. Check. I didn't know that. Have a briefcase, we'll walk down the hallway. Yeah, you let them.
Let's roll, nerds. Come on.
Covering my guy, Ryan Martinez.
Please.
Ryan Martinez. Good,
love to sing. I'm on the edge of the- Hey, good morning. Happy Monday. You said Brian Martinez?
Yes, Judge.
Sure, say yes, Judge. Good morning, Mr. Martinez. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail because of the high blow. So you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. Wait a second, Brian or Ramiro?
Brian Martinez.
Oh, I see that you also have a Ramiro Martinez.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On August 12th, 2024, a little bit after midnight, officers were dispatched to a Jack in the Box regarding a verbal disturbance. They conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle matching the description on the call, as well as for the vehicle failing to maintain a single lane with a vehicle following the suspect vehicle and another vehicle to its right. So he's failing to maintain a single lane while there's other vehicles around. The defendant was
You
ID'd.
said there was another reason. What was the other one?
The Jack in the Box called in regarding a disturbance at the drive-through.
Got it.
The driver was identified as the defendant. Officers noticed the slurred speech, red, watery, bloodshot eyes, poor balance, and an odor of alcohol in his breath. He advised that he was leaving the Jack in the Box due to a disagreement and that he had been drinking and smoking earlier. They conducted the standard field sobriety tests, 6 of 6 for the HGN, 3 of 8 for the walk and turn, 1 of 4 for the one leg stand. Officers read the DIC. Defendant consented to breath. Levels were 0.235 and 0.239. And then defendant also had a prior DWI arrest out of Tarrant County from 2019. I don't know that we couldn't determine the disposition of that case.
Is this an open case, Mr. Martinez?
It's still open, Judge.
It's still open.
Yes, this is the first.
Mr. Martinez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now not to drive at all. Do you understand? I'm also now giving you a curfew. You are not allowed to be out past 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. And I'm going to put a monitor on your ankle so I know that you're not out and about. You have an open DWI and now you've picked up another DWI. I'm going to put an ankle monitor on you also on your other ankle so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. One false move, I will deem you a public danger, make your bond $150,000, and I don't care who is kicking and screaming, crying. My only concern is public safety, and you now have 2 open DWIs. I will do everything in my power to protect the public. Do you understand? If you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time your happy-go-lucky butt gets into a car and drives.
What time do we need to?
Rachel, hi. So
Okay.
on one ankle, he gets a GPS monitor with a curfew. On the other one, he gets a scram, waive the fees. Okay. We need to do guardian interlock paperwork. I'm ordering. You're not allowed to.
He currently resides, he lives in Fort Worth. He does not live here, so I'm not exactly sure how that's gonna affect GPS or the scram. The scram is probably not gonna affect
His GPS works nationwide.
Okay.
So
Sure.
it doesn't matter where he is. You must abide by the curfew. I don't care where you are. I don't care what you're doing. The worst possible thing you can do in this life, Mr. Martinez, is get into our car and drive. And I will know because I can triangulate the scram device with your GPS monitor to see if you are in a car. And I'll tell you now, you get into a car and drive for any reason. I don't care. You cannot justify if there's a burning building and you have to save 50 people. You cannot get into a car and drive, and you will be guaranteed a substantial amount of jail if you drive. Do you understand? Today. I'm not sure how it works in terms of getting any of those devices, whether that they're immediately available or not. Okay, we're gonna send them down now so that he can get everything. They'll have it available. Mr. Martinez, heed my warning. Do not use alcohol. Do not use any dope. You understand? You will not get any more warnings from me. Are you a citizen of the United States? Are you in this country with or without permission? What happens if you go to jail?
I can get immigration.
What?
I can get immigration, pick me up.
You will sit in custody because immigration will put a detainer on you. Your butt will be in jail for the next 6 to 9 months, waiting for immigration to deport you. That's what happens if you go to jail. Any more than 4 hours, they sweep the jail. Every 6 to 12 hours, they sweep the jail looking for people who are in there that are undocumented. And when they find them, they put a detainer on you. And you get stuck in custody until this case is over with. And then once this case is over with, you get shipped to immigration. And then, do you think anything fast happens in immigration? It takes about 9 months just to resolve a hearing in immigration court. And you sit in jail that entire time. You best be on your best behavior. Otherwise, I'm gonna light you up. You understand? All right. Come on over. We'll have you sign all these documents. Marcos, we'll waive his appearance.
Appreciate
But
that,
just
Judge. Thank you.
keep a watchful eye. There's no more warnings. Please. Today. Yeah.
So Judge, if he has the scram, does he also need the?
Yep. I'm gonna put it on his car. I'm gonna pay for everything for him, so he's not gonna be out. But people still drive regardless, and that's my fear. The only reason I'm putting the scram on him now is because he has 2 open DWIs. So I want to make sure he's not drinking. It's really no harm, no foul, because I'm paying for everything. So he has nothing to lose, just time.
You ready for the next one, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Mr. Williams on page 28, come on up.
Oh, already to 28. It's okay. I'm okay with that.
Thank
you. Good morning, Ms. Williams. Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, ma'am. Okay.
On August 11th, 2024, at approximately 4:30 in the morning, officers were dispatched to a traffic hazard call. On scene, they observed that the defendant's vehicle had struck a tow truck. The flatbed of the tow truck had partially severed the roof of her car. The tow truck driver indicated that he did not hear her brake.
Whoa. Did you say that the tow truck took off the roof of her car?
Yes, Your Honor, like Jane Mansfield.
Took off the roof?
It partially severed it, yes, Your Honor.
Lucky she wasn't decapitated.
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant was in the driver's seat. She was unconscious. Officers.
Holy moly.
The defendant was breathing and she had a strong odor of alcohol in her breath. There was an open bottle of Patron tequila with 2 shot glasses in the car. The defendant and her front passenger were taken to Memorial Hermann Hospital. A search warrant was drawn and blood was taken.
I know I shouldn't be laughing, but decapitated just that I actually have tears in my eyes. Oh, that's amazing. It's a pleasure. Oh, that's funny.
So they took blood.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have the results of that blood? I'd like to know what, if anything else was in there, in the system.
Not yet, Your Honor. This happened on the 11th.
Miss Williams, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. You're lucky to be alive, ma'am. You have a Texas driver license. You were not allowed to drive. Do you understand? You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not gonna drive. I don't care if Mother Teresa needs a ride to church. You drive, you'll be facing an additional 6 months every single time you drive, because I will have a contempt of court hearing, 6 months every single time you drive. Do you understand? If you want to drive, go get a license and liability insurance, and then we can talk. But until that point, unless I know that you have an eligible license in the DPS system,
It's eligible.
she's telling me she doesn't have one.
She's eligible.
Yeah.
Okay, then not until you get an actual license and liability insurance. Do you understand? Go get those two, come back to me, show me that you have both, and then I'll allow you to drive. But until that point, do not drive. I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using anything, likewise, you will go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds.
Sure.
How old are you, Miss Williams? What do you do for a living?
Construction.
We are going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. If you like your license, I would get on it quick because there's a lot of timing requirements where if you wait too long, you might subject yourself to losing your license. I will have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. I will then get you to Billy. After you sign a reset with Billy, you'll get with Rachel for your bond conditions. And after that, you'll be free to go. Be careful, man. Don't use. Okay, come on. They can't give you legal advice, man. You need to talk to a lawyer, okay? All right. Who's next?
Your Honor, right now, the only other arraignment I have is the Spanish speaker waiting for a referral to the kid here.
Okay.
So we'll start moving on to our second appearances.
Yep.
First one will be Bruno on page 4.
BJ Bruno, come up. Mr. Bruno, do you have a lawyer today? What are you doing about that? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 different priors, all of them culminating from not too long ago. How many court-appointed lawyers have you had on each of those cases? Right. It's now time for you to man up and get a lawyer. Do you understand? What are you doing for a living? Okay, it's time. We're going to research your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. Your case is now 45 days old. It's getting old. We will give you another 30 days. Did you talk to anyone before you came here about this type of case and how much? Okay. You need a lawyer. When you go out to hire a lawyer, it's much like buying a car. Don't go to a Ferrari. Don't go to a Cadillac dealership if you don't have that kind of money. You go to a Toyota, you go to a Honda. It's the same thing with lawyers. Don't call someone that's going to charge you $50,000 like the Dick DeGarens. Do you understand? Not only that, but you can, I want you to listen. You can negotiate with lawyers. 99% of them will put you on a payment plan where pay a couple $100s a month, they will represent you. Don't take them at first blush. You can negotiate with them like anything in life. Do you understand? All right, get on it.
So I'm busy looking for ballet shoes for the wedding. So if you see me measuring my foot, you know why.
Page 23 and 24.
Good morning, Roberto. Did you say page 23?
23 and 24, Your Honor. This one's an arraignment.
This is the gentleman that picked up the DWI while on bond for DWI. You were on bond for DWI. You picked up a new DWI. I revoked your bond and I set them at $40,000. If you so much as do anything wrong, Mr. Rodriguez Turrubiate, I will quintuple your bonds by deeming you an extreme public danger. You have 2 open DWIs. I'm now on one ankle going to put an ankle monitor, so I'm giving you a curfew. You are not allowed out past 9 p.m. You must be home from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. On your other ankle, you will get a scram device so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. If you so much as consume whatever and it has alcohol in it, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail, and quintuple the bond. That means 5 times what it is now. You are not allowed to drive. Likewise, if I find that you drive, and I don't care what your reason is, I will 10 times the bond. Do you understand?
Yes.
Rachel, does he have an ankle monitor on now? Because I told him to put it on prior to his release for court. This is Rodriguez Turrubiate on page 23 and 24. Billy, he has a lawyer. I don't know if the lawyer's here yet. I guess we'll just put him in the box now and wait for the lawyer to get here. Have you spoke to him at all?
Previously, in the prior one, he's not here yet, but he comes a little bit later, like around 10.
Okay. We will have
He's coming, but he's coming right now.
We'll have him take a seat in the jury box until your lawyer gets here.
For some reason, it only shows him on the older case, but he's on both.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, my next one's gonna be a second appearance, Spanish speaker,
Okay.
Velasco Morales, page 27, Your Honor.
Do you want to, oh, okay, I also deleted it, Steve. That explains why you were confused. Do you want to see a really wholesome hearing? If it's still up, please let it still be up. I've been watching this court, but I am not entirely sure how to say his name, because I'm pretty sure that one of the judges says Balajan. Where are you, Judge Balajan? One of the judges says Balajan, but that doesn't sound right when you look at how it's spelt. Give me 1 minute. I've got to go in like 30-ish minutes. I hope he hasn't taken it down. I did found him. I did grab some of these, but they are just so, this is the most wholesome thing. It's a sobriety court. And it's made me so happy.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. So you're top of the list. Lucky you win the alphabet lottery.
Yes, sir.
So what's on your mind?
Not much. Just getting a new week started.
So, now let's see, you've been in here, just a little over a month, right?
Yep, 31 days.
Okay. So, so 1 month in, are you able to deal with the expectations and, time management isn't going to be a significant issue for you?
Right now, time management's not because I'm not working. So I'm still looking for employment.
Okay.
Transportation has been a challenge, but I'm making it work, planning ahead.
What are you doing looking for work?
At this point, I'm looking for pretty much anything. My past field has been finance.
So, well, but what are you doing to get to look? You say you're looking for work.
Right.
So
A lot of it.
What does that look like?
Most of it's online, filling out applications online. I've had some job interviews. Have not had one in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. Online, you're looking online, are you, what are the resources you're looking to? Because are you using those job site postings?
I'm on Indeed, I'm on ZipRecruiter, I'm on Lensa.
Okay, all right.
And you basically.
What is that? Construction. Oh, I thought someone had a really bad stomach issue. Oh my God,
That's a bolt going in.
Wow, I thought that sounds like an emergency. All right. Okay. So what do you have any idea what do you think is standing in the way for you? Or no?
I mean, I've got restrictions with this program, but I don't think that's standing in the way by any means. What I've kind of geared my focus on a little bit is maybe something like in the third shift range, more of a factory position. So I don't really have any restrictions with this program as far as hours of work.
Well, with those positions, have you actually gone on site to make applications or not?
Not really, just because I've got to arrange transportation to get to and from. So, I mean, most of it's all been online.
What are you doing for transportation issues?
Right now, mostly it's my dad. He's retired. But I've actually, the last time we were here, I actually had to take an Uber because I didn't have any transportation for that day.
Yeah.
So that was pricey.
Yeah, that's an expensive alternative. Were you going to meetings?
Otsego.
And how many are you making of those?
I'm doing 4 to 5 in person, and I'll make up for it online on the Zoom. But I prefer the in-person, so I try to do 5 at least.
And you're making testing and such as well?
Yes, sir.
Concerns or worries you want to raise to the court?
Not at this.
Sounds like transportation's a bit of
Yeah, but I mean, I'm dealing with it, just like I said, planning ahead.
Well, that's a very big thing, is planning ahead, obviously. So, in communication with those around you, and it's obviously if you can work out an arrangement where you're able to do a carpooling situation, you can get into any sort of factory position. That would be optimal, I would imagine. Mr. Norbeck?
Well, Mr. Brogan, I think that the judge sort of circled on the job thing there for a second, because this program is expensive to be in. So, I mean, I know you've got it sounds like your priorities are all in the right order. We're just concerned because we don't want you to, there's plenty of reasons why you have trouble keeping up with the program. We don't want to let, money be one of them. So,
absolutely.
But it sounds like you're on it. Just keep us appraised of your situation and, expect to tell us what's going on, then sort of keep something to yourself and then have it blow up later, right? All right. But it sounds like you're up and running for what you need to do here, and that you're, you know, a lot of times it's the pacing in the beginning for everybody, you know, sort of getting new systems in place and checking all the boxes. That's sort of the juggling act. But it sounds like you're doing what you need to do, so keep it up.
Okay. Just to be clear, we're not concerned about your job so that you can give us money. We're concerned about the job because we have a requirement for either the employee
Well, I'm concerned about the job
or
for
education.
many reasons.
But yeah, I mean, but also, we don't want that to be a means of tripping you up. Okay, who's reporting here?
I will be reporting today.
All right, very good.
Sean has been a delight to have in group. As you had mentioned, in 31 days here, and has been participating, kind of getting used to the process. Sean has also identified, you know, the need to stay sober and remain sober, and is starting to work on collecting some of those coping skills that we need to deal with thoughts, cravings, urges, and kind of remain sober. So,
okay, good. All right. All right. So program days you said was 31, and then good news.
Detroit Tigers took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees this weekend.
And are finally back on TV for me. They were gone for a long time. They're just
Well, you won't
back
see them
this
again
week.
for a while. But.
Okay. Well, we'll go with the.
So the judge I was saying that says this name is actually in that room. I think he's a magistrate. Daniel Nor. Wait. I'll show you him and you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. He was just online a minute ago, so I should be able to find him pretty easily. Hopefully he hasn't taken all of his streams down already, because that's my pre-bedtime catch-up channel to watch, because he's just so chilled. Yeah.
right on the iPhone, your name, please.
My name is Hunter Gray Howard, sir, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. This is a citation. It was issued on July 20th of this.
Okay. Now you've got that in your head. Let's go back to this.
Tigers, then.
3 from the Yankees this weekend.
And are finally back on TV for me. They were gone for a long time. They're just
Well, you won't
back
see them
this
again
week.
for a while. But.
Okay. Well, we'll go with the Tigers then.
How about Mr. Eaton?
Sir, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good. So what's on your mind today?
Just excited to watch the US Open today.
Oh, you're dressed for the part, so okay.
It's the 9-ball US Open, but
What does that mean?
Hmm?
I don't know what that means.
Oh, like pool.
Like actual pool, like
billiards.
like billiards?
Yeah, like 9-ball.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, then you're not dressed for the part. Well, maybe you are. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about, so I'm just going to go with nod knowingly and move on. Okay. Do you know what he's talking about? Yep. All right. Yeah, I'll explain it to you later. How are things going with the program?
Good. Going to meetings in Allegan and Otsego.
Okay, and how many are you making?
I do the one, there's only one in Allegan, so I do that on Wednesdays at 7. And then I'll do 2 to 3 in Otsego.
Okay. You doing any online?
Yeah. It's easier for me to do a couple online per week right now.
With the majority being have to be in person, you understand that?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
You're hitting your meetings, you're making the testing?
This Saturday I was late for a test.
Okay. Does that mean that you were not able to test? Is that what you're saying?
Correct. I forgot there wasn't a test in the afternoon.
Okay.
So I did an AA meeting in Otsego in the morning and then set an alarm for 5 and then showed up at 5 and they weren't there, so.
Okay. So did you reach out to anyone about that?
Yeah, I left Hillary a voicemail, 2 of them, and then I called the DNA testing center, left them a voicemail, and then I went to the hospital and got a drug test from them.
Oh, okay. And?
I was told to call medical records this morning at like 9 to get those records.
Get that over to Hillary. Need to be really mindful of timeframes and such. That's gotta be, but I appreciate you raising it to me without me having to raise it with you. Because I hadn't heard about it yet, so that's important. It's always much better to be on that side of things, all right? If you have to be reporting these things, so we prefer no reporting, no full compliance is what we want. But if there's gonna be a problem, it's better for you to raise it to us than us to confront you with it.
I just forgot there wasn't a secondary testing time on the weekend.
Yeah. Well, you make sure you're staying up to date on all of the procedures and all the demands. Worries or concerns that you want to raise with us?
That was my only concern.
Well, I mean, that's a justifiable concern. Mr. Norbeck?
And I want to clarify, because I think if you're talking about calling your probation officer here, then you might mean Hickory, right?
Correct.
And you're at Hillary. Is
Oh, sorry.
All right, but
yeah, I even said Hillary too.
Yeah,
So,
I'm
but
sorry.
this is a real teachable moment. So I get what you're saying. Normally, if it was Monday through Friday, you would have had that evening batch of hours. But because it was weekend, they only have one time a day. So what happens? You're like, oh man, there's just no. It's the afternoon. I missed it, right? So what did you do? You reached out to your probation officer. You left them a message, right? That's the first good thing you did. And then you didn't get a hold of them probably because it's the weekend. You just leave a messages.
Yeah.
So you're saying to yourself, I mean, what do? I contacted my probation officer. So who gave you? And then you said you called DNA. Did you actually get to talk to someone?
I left them a message as
You
well.
also left them a message, but that's the second correct thing you did, right? You reached out to everyone you know to let them know, hey, I have, dropped the ball here. What do you want from me? Whose idea was it to go get a drug test at the hospital?
It was called my lawyer.
Okay.
And I asked them, they said there's some like private testing centers that you can do.
All right.
There was none open on the weekend, so I just went to the hospital to get tested.
So really, the third right thing you did is like, hey, I'm leaving messages, but I'm not actually getting a live person. Let me try something else. You try your attorney. Your attorney gives you that idea, and you say, look, I missed my window, but the second best thing I can do is show them it wasn't because there's a problem with my test. It's another problem. And getting that done, you should be, sort of early on in the program, have that sort of panic moment, but you tried a number of things, and it was, instead of being like hunkering down and be like, oh no, I'm going to get in trouble, it was more like, here are the alternate things I can do to try to alleviate the situation. So like I said, and then telling us about it before we got told, because it's Monday morning and everyone's just listening to those messages. Now, you did a lot of things right. If we could go back in time, the easiest thing would have been test. But if you already passed up that window, just to let you know, it's sort of a teachable moment to everyone else. You did a lot of things correctly to alleviate the situation as much as you can, right? So, but it shows that your head is in the right space. So it's good.
Cody was present for a group for the first time last week, just jumping into the program. Introduced himself, actively listened, was engaged. Typical with the first few sessions, right? People are getting used to the new group, the personalities, kind of the flow of things. So looking forward to, more comfortability and participation and what you have to say in the next few weeks.
All right, so 2 weeks in, right?
Correct.
So that is, it does sound like you have your head in the right space. So I'm going to look forward to, we'll do a follow-up with Hickory on whatever your results are. And we'll think we'll address things from there. But for now, I'm going to be comfortable with the manner in which you address things. So I think you have been pretty proactive in your response. So that's good. But you make life a lot easier just to be there for the first time. All right. It sounds like you got the lesson learned just by the amount of work you did to try to catch up to it. All right, so program days 14. So how about good news?
Got a job bid in Holland that I've been working on for our community remodel, so I've been working on that.
So you landed a contract, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically.
All right. Good for you. All right, good job.
Mr. Hanglocker?
This is the whole meeting is just so wholesome. I was watching it and just like smiling the whole way through, like clapping for the wins and everything. It's so sweet. I'm actually going to hop off now because I want to get ready for dancing and I need to figure out this ballet shoe situation. But I've saved Judge, I think it should be Balagian. Maybe it is Balagian. I don't know. I've saved these videos so we can watch again because it's just so sweet. Like the applause, what's going well. I loved it. Anyway, quiet stream. I checked and YouTube basically didn't put it on the browse page or anything. I still haven't gotten a notification that I was live. So that was weird. But before I go, I need to end the poll, which is 77% no and 22% yes, which leads me to believe that it is a majority no. Let's see. I just want to see if any of our new friends have something upcoming. No, American Courts is only upcoming at 2 p.m. and Broken Baker, who's finally showing up in my redirect, is coming up at 8 p.m., so an hour and a half. Oh, I said 2 p.m. I meant 2 a.m. for me. Okay, I'm not sure if I'll be on later. Let's see. I have a whole lot of fly shit to catch up on. Tomorrow, I am going for them to measure my tooth. This one, the one that broke, so they can make the 3D copy of it. So I don't know if or when I'll be back in the afternoon or if I'll be medicated. Unsure yet. To make sure notifications are on. Might see you later, might see you tomorrow, might see you Thursday. We'll see how it goes. Bye.